Hey, what's up, everybody? Time for another game theory community answering questions kind of video. If you like the videos, like, sub, silly, comment, share, support the channel if you can. I appreciate it. Thanks. Super Chat, PayPal, Patreon, whatever. If you want to support the channel, I appreciate it. Thanks. I got asked by the Draco108. I usually only watch your channel for fighting game content, but Sajam's latest video about old concepts caught my eye. He's talking about how most of the systems and mechanics for older games were bad ideas. It's crazy. I know there isn't much to cover from his video that you haven't already said, but can you make a video with your take on it? Well, from your response or your question, I think you already know my take on it because, yeah, there isn't much to say about the video that I haven't already said. This is the video in question. You can see I'm not a Sajam watcher. His videos aren't thought-provoking to me, much like everybody else. But you know what? Unlike other people, content creators, so to speak, I constantly say I encourage you to watch every other content creator. Well, I shouldn't say I encourage you, but I would not stop you, perhaps, right? I guess if I'm encouraging you, I would say I'm not afraid of any other person's mental capacity when it comes to a fighting game. So by all means, watch anybody you want to watch. You can even watch people that talk shit about me, hate me, whatever. It doesn't bother me. Just know what you're getting into. And you know, watching the Soy Jam, Shill Jam video, it's exactly the kind of stuff that I talk about, you know, that people have no idea what they're talking about. And if you actually listen to these people and you know anything about fighting games, you see that what they say doesn't really hold up to any scrutiny. You know, this idea that, oh, old games are bad, new games are good, you know, and that's not that there's like nothing good about new games. And don't misunderstand what I was saying even about that last SNK video, right? I actually think that, you know, Mark of the Wolves is a better take on a new Fatal Fury game is or was than Street Fighter 3. I like Mark of the Wolves better than Street Fighter 3. But, you know, at the end of the day, I just don't think SNK is cool anymore. It's just, you know, it's there's multiple reasons why I think City of the Wolves doesn't work, but you know, games need to be different. And you know, this isn't saying that there's nothing good about new games, but you know, this idea that old games are always bad and new games are good, it's just, it doesn't hold up to any scrutiny because guess what? The older games were more popular. These old games that you talk shit about constantly, they're more popular. Even that video again recently where we're talking about how much better older games actually sold. Imagine how much they would have sold. Again, we use this example of Street Fighter 2 for Super Nintendo. Outsold what these new games do, right? In 1 year's time, just for Super Nintendo. And remember, these new games, they're for, you know, Xbox, PlayStation, computer. What is the likelihood that someone does not at least own a computer in today's day and age compared to 1991, 1992, when it was only the SNES, right? There's probably a good chance that, you know, your neighbor didn't even have a Super Nintendo, right? And yet it's still outsold. There's a better chance that your neighbor nowadays at least has a computer or something that could even fathomably play it on. And yet people want to ask like, oh no, games were not selling as good back then. Games are so much bigger now. It does not hold up to any scrutiny. And of course, this dude, he uses these cliche examples of, oh, you know, well, people hate when characters have different hitboxes and different hurt boxes. And people hate when there's unique combos that you can do. And people hate when there's different get up times and all that kind of stuff. What the fuck? No, they don't. Correlation does not equal causation. Okay. You know what people hate? People hate losing. Okay? People hate losing. Okay? There's a big difference between, you know, people hate unique combos. People hate different hitboxes and hurt boxes and all this kind of stuff. They hate different wake up timings. They actually just hate losing. Okay? Generally speaking. If people hated all these different sort of crazy combos and different sort of matchup knowledge stuff that you could do versus specific character, why would there be any lab monster, as they call people nowadays? There would be nothing to lab. There would be no obscurity, even though obscurity is a big word, right? But there would be nothing specific. There would be nothing for you to find. There almost is nothing for you to find nowadays because games are so pre-planned and homogenized and everything. The same hurt boxes and hit boxes. It's no wonder that there's not actually anything new or anything thought-provoking because everything is so pre-planned down to like everything, dude. It's like made by a fucking robot, okay? Now, if people actually truly like this, why are there so many people that, I got to put out my one combo that I hope no one else has done? Why would people, and I know people are going to get mad about this, the people that watch my videos, yet they hate me, whatever. They're tsundere for me, right? If tech and all this kind of stuff, if unique stuff, if thought-provoking stuff, if people actually hated this, why has the community gone to such extreme lengths to get everybody to hate me? The guy who has done more in fighting games than anyone else in the history of fighting games for tech, okay? From simple combos to just explaining games to predicting the meta of games to the crazy combo videos. It is 2025. Can you believe this? Oh my God. Do you realize there's probably people that watch my channel that weren't even alive back in the day when I was originally dying? That's crazy if you think about it, right? And I was still finding tech, okay? If finding tech and finding these unique interactions and, thought-provoking things were not important, why has the community gone to such extreme lengths to lie about me? And then when they think that they can, it's all fake if Clayton's done it, but once they can do it, they put it up on Twitter for their, I got my few likes of this combo. Let me go monetize myself on YouTube, whatever. Why would people do that if that's like stupid? It's because it's actually cool and it's different. Right? That's why people do it. Because guess what? And I've said this so many times before. Most people will never truly be competitive at fighting games, right? It's the best and the worst thing about fighting games, that it's a competitive endeavor and that you might be able to beat your friend, right? Or you might be able to beat somebody, win a tournament, whatever it might be, right? It's the best and the worst thing. The best thing is you could be the winner. The worst thing is you could be the loser. And if you're the loser, he had a different wake-up timing for his thing. His character had a different hitbox. That's the only reason I lost, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? But this same person, this is so unfair. You for sure know if they think, if they can tell themselves they found one sort of piece of tech, they would instantly put it up. No one would have ever thought of this. It's unique. Right? They just hate losing, okay? There's a difference. Correlation does not equal causation, okay? Also, if you think about it from this perspective, as I've said before, this idea that it made fighting games, more complicated back in the day. I've said this many times. I've made many videos about it. Fighting games at a surface level are more complicated nowadays. Okay, I said this in the last video and I'm gonna say it again, and I know it gets people mad, that tsundere people that hate me but still watch my videos, right? Even me, the person that has found more tech in fighting games than anyone else in the history of fighting games, when I look at new games, I'm like, whoa, this is confusing. Okay? New games, when I talk about, and if you watch these videos about, I talk about the GED level of fighting games, right? The GED level, to pass GED, to get your GED equivalence test that you can survive in the world in a fighting game nowadays, is incredibly more complicated than it was back in the day, okay? The systems, the mental mind stack, it's like a cliff notes. You got to know the frame data. This is minus this is plus this. This is a hard punch. But even though this is a hard punch too, this is the back hard punch. So this does one more frame stun here. But this character's back doesn't do here. Guess what? I've made videos about the reuse hop kick. Guess what? A dragon punch is only invincible if the move is in the air. But guess what? Reuse hop kick, even though he's in the air, doesn't count as an air attack. So it won't beat. The Dragon Punch won't beat it. Kimberly does a jump attack here. That one does count as a jump attack, even though it's a ground normal. This is a ground normal here and she's in the air. That one still counts as a ground normal, so you can't Dragon Punch it. It is convoluted as fuck. It's not easy, okay? It's so complicated that people have actually, throughout the years, more and more, as fighting games are becoming more and more popular, excuse me. That's not what I meant to say. More and more complicated, right? People actually try to even justify more so giving themselves button binding and macro stuff and all this kind of, oh, there's just too many button combinations. It's confusing me, okay? And yet, you want me to believe from what you're saying that back in the day, oh, well, this character was smaller, so, an attack can miss them. This character was bigger, and so, the attack still hits them. That's not like visually disturbing to the senses. I don't need to read the cliff notes to know what is going on here. I can see this character is smaller, so I'm attacking them, and my attack, it whiffs them. That's not visually disturbing. That makes sense. Oh, this character is bigger. It stands to reason that I would be able to hit them. Whereas like Street Fighter 6, oh, I'm not touching them, but I'm hitting them. Okay. Oh, this character is so big, but my move is just going through them. Okay. And it's homogenized. It's strange. It's weird. Okay. So again, this idea that old game's bad, new game's good. There's no reason to believe that because even look at the sales of the games. They're not somehow selling better now, right? They've just changed what is the GED test, right? The GED test now, if you want to have your friend, hey, come over and play Street Fighter 6, right? He might be like, oh God, this is my first time. Jesus Christ, what is this? So this move is going to, wait, what? This is plus, he's like, I gotta like study for the game before I even like play just for fun for 5 minutes compared to old games. Okay, well, this looks like this is what this does. And even if you want to say, use an argument that say, of course, because there is, say, there's obscurities in old school games, right? But the old school games, even if you say it's an obscurity, like think about it from this perspective. This is still the original. This is what every game is based off of now, at least to some degree, right? Every game, quotation marks, every game is somehow a little bit based on Street Fighter 2. So even saying that Street Fighter 2 is obscure is a little bit misleading because this is where knowledge started. Street Fighter 2 is God, so to speak. Street Fighter 2 told us how everything works in the first place, right? So even that argument, I don't think would actually totally hold up. You could make an argument against it, even saying that Street Fighter 2 has obscurities, which it does, but you have to take it with a grain of salt because Street Fighter 2 is the God. It created everything, so to speak, right? The metaphorical God, if you will. People hating on old school games. It's almost like imagine your parents are multi-bajillionaires. They do everything for you. You've never had to work in your life. They pay for everything and they're awesome. And you, the child, you still hate Street Fighter 2, even though it's giving you a fucking job. It's made it so you don't have to work, you don't have to do anything, and you hate it. Like I said, if you hate games like Street Fighter 2, if you totally can't see any of the goodwill in old school games whatsoever, if you are that naive, I don't think you can really say you like fighting games. All you care about is you want to be the person that wins versus your friend in something, right? And again, this isn't to say that there's nothing good about new games. Games have to progress, right? And there are certain things that I like in new games. But it's the foundational stuff of these games that is so bad, right? And the homogenization of these games, right? That's the problem, right? You can still do new things in games, right? Again, you could go watch my videos about how I would make a fighting game, right? Go watch those videos. Hey, I still showed new things you can do, right? That doesn't it's a system that every character can use, but guess what? Every character has to use it in a unique way. Shocking. It can be done. I've written about it, spoken about it before. Not every character has to be Street Fighter 6. Oh God, well, what did I say about Street Fighter 6? I mean, I did predict the game. I was like, oh God, I think every character is going to basically be using the system the same way, generally speaking. That was my biggest fear right when I saw it. And I'm like, oh, it's going to be my meter versus your meter. Bro, you're going to be wrong. How many videos did I make about Street Fighter 6? People saying everything I said about Street Fighter 6 was going to be wrong too. Oh, I forgot that I'm the person that has been predicting all these fucking fighting games for like, God, 20 years now. I'm fucking old. Jesus Christ. Fuck me. But as usual, I mean, it just is. It's silly. But again, you can watch Shill Jam, Soy Jam, Buttmonger. Watch any of the people that lie about me. I mean, you can just see that, the mental aptitude is just not exactly there, as I can't speak English. There you go. I screwed myself with that one, didn't I? But, I don't know how any person listens to, Sajam is so I'm sorry, but Sajam is never going to be able to live down talking about that he wants to support the victims of fighting games when he was fine with people joking about me dying and all this kind of stuff. And then he wasn't going to Evo anyway, because Evo was already canceled because of, COVID. How do you support a guy that basically virtue signaled that he's not going to Evo to support victims, people that have been wronged in the fighting game community, when it was COVID? Nobody was going to Evo. And people sucked his dick for it for some reason. It's very strange. It makes no sense to me, right? Don't forget that his fans are also the people that said that I was going to be wrong about Strive, and he was supposed to debate me. He bailed on the debate, ended up not doing it, right? And what was more funny, then his fans started sending me all these messages that it doesn't matter that I was correct about Strive because it was unfair that I predicted the game so early, it made it not fair. What? I don't you know what? But again, I say that, watch these people, they're idiots. It's okay. You know what I mean? Some people are just background noise. You can see I'm not a Sajam watcher because he has no value to me. He's not a big brain. He's never done anything in games. So he's not thought provoking to me. So it's whatever. But I mean, if it's background noise and you like listening to him or listening to anybody else, more power to you. If you like videos, like, subscribe, comment, share, support the channel if you can. Appreciate it. Thanks. The end.